Oh my god, a reason to use Mr. Fantastic? That's crazy. No. So this is the Power Suppression path effect 8.1.2. Nodes Power Suppression, which is, every time you activate a special, you put an enervate on the defender, which means they can't gain power. And once it is about to expire, it'll consume one of the debuffs you have on the defender to reapply itself. Which, if you have champions like, Immortal Abomination with constant debuffs, or Mr. Fantastic who can apply a bunch of debuffs on a special one, you're going to have that enervate up for practically the entire fight as soon as you throw a special, which is nice because of the other nodes like Avarice, which gives the defender, a power gain buff every 15 seconds. It's useful. The enervate also makes it so that even when you're hitting the defender, you're not going to give them any power at all because it's just a complete power lock essentially, or like an almost complete power lock. And with redlining, you're going to get to your specials faster because once you get over 33% of your max power, you're going to get a power gain buff, which increases the combat power rate by almost double. So you're going to get up to your specials really quickly. Just make sure you use the special where you hit 75%, because if you do hit 75%, you're going to go back down to 0, just automatically, which is fine because none of these champions require special 3s, which is important because if you have a champion that requires special 3s, you're not going to be able to use them at all on this path. That aside, this path, honestly, really fun if you have a good science chance with lots of debuffs, which most do have. My favorites for this path, or, this kind of node with Power Suppression is, either Immortal Abomination or Mr. Fantastic, just because, I've used them for so long, they've become, so familiar to me, my automatic go-tos. And Vulture's in here, too, because his synergy with Mr. Fantastic means that every debuff you apply slaps a little power sting on the opponent, so even if your enervates do fall off, you will have that extra damage off the power stings when they do inevitably throw a special. Although it does cap at 3, which kind of is lame, because, look how many debuffs we're applying. Imagine if everyone had a power sting on it. Oh, that'd be so good. But yeah, so you saw Juggernaut had a chance to throw a special, and those power stings did apply to him all over again. Those did the damage that they were supposed to do, which is a nice little bonus in case, you mess up, or you'll see, I end up having to use Immortal Hulk, which Mans does not exactly have a lot of debuffs. I just kind of brought him for his synergy, for extra health or whatever. Just 'cause I thought, it's whatever. He's a science champion. He has enough debuffs anyway. Plus, he gains power relatively quickly, which means that even though he doesn't apply debuffs, he can get the enervate back really quickly just by continuing to cycle specials. Another option for this is to use, a power control champion, so that, although you aren't utilizing the Power Suppression node, you will still be able to control their power relatively easily. Just make sure you don't go over 75% like I just did. Otherwise you have to restart entirely, which is kind of good for Doom, because you want to keep cycling the special ones so you can keep them below a special 3. As long as the defender is relatively simple to fight, barring the special 3, it's fine. Who cares? As you can see, I'm just cycling specials really quickly because they have so much power gain. If you can power steal them or power lock them with a vision or something, honestly, it's basically the same thing. You just want something that can control the power, and the Power Suppression just makes it more fun. Just because having an enervate means that you don't have to worry about specials at all if you can keep it up the entire fight, which is nice. It's really nice. But sometimes the defenders are ones you don't want to use the science champ against, like Hela. I don't want to have to wait out her immortality, which is why I use Doom. Plus, it's just faster to use Doom against Hela because of all of her buffs, just constantly giving him, power gain off the staggers and all the shocks, and you get your special 2s a lot faster. Which, yeah, I got hit by her special 3 because I'm an idiot and didn't parry her. I don't know if that was a dropped input or what, but thank God her special 3 doesn't do that much damage, so I'm chilling. Just had to block out her immortality. But the next one this is kind of the problem fight, though. When I read through these nodes, I don't exactly check the defenders, I just check nodes, so I didn't bring up bleed immune champion, which is kind of a problem, and I ended up losing, a few of these, my actually good champions for this path. I say bye-bye to Immortal Abomination, because you can see that bleed is taking for, 285 a second. It's being mitigated by the poisons, but the more poisons I get, the less I'm going to be healing, so the further on this fight goes, the more damage I will be taking, and the more damage these bleeds will be doing to me, because I'm already at 407, and it's not even I'm bye-bye to half my health, pretty much, before Morningstar even gets to 40%. of hers gone. Mine's already almost 50% gone. And, you know, I didn't throw my special in time, so now there goes my power. So I don't have an Enervate on her. And I'm getting hit by her special too. Like, it's all going wrong and going bad. I should have brought up a bleed immune. My fault, my bad, you know. Like, vision would have been good here. I have a vision. I should have used him, you know, just for that power burn, just to keep her under control. Like, yeah, he's not awakened, but still would have been nicer than losing a Mortal Abomination to that fun and interactive bleed damage that, you know, it's not even the game's fault. It's just my fault because I didn't bring a bleed immune. So I don't check champions before I go in these fights. And I should have restarted, brought a bleed immune, probably, but nah, I'm lazy. And I just wanted to get this over with because, you know, Morningstar's not that hard to kill anyway. I just figured, you know, I'll sacrifice a few champions, and if I die, I die. I eat those words later, end up having to use a revive, but, you know, beyond that, it's all good. Because this path isn't terribly difficult, given that you have so many potential options for it, because most of the science class does activate a good number of debuffs on the opponent, and if they don't, they can still make use of the power suppression through redlining. Just continuing to throw specials to get that Enervate back up and over again, because it's 6 seconds. It's a long time. Like, as you can see, like, I'm already almost back to a special 1 again before that Enervate's even gone. So like, it's fine. It's totally fine, you know. You don't even have to worry about anything at all. And, you know, there I go, being unblockable, you know, unkillable, immortal. Probably should have used Immortal Hulk to begin with. And probably should have played him a little bit better because Immortality is about to run out and I'm going to die soon. And maybe I shouldn't be using as many, you know, heavy attacks because that is going to get me killed. But, you know, that does almost take her down. You know, she's at 10% now. I just finish her off. That's whatever, right? Like I said, Morningstar's not terribly difficult. It's just the bleed you gotta worry about. But, yeah. Or you can just do what I did and completely just brute force it. Like I do with all my paths. Because I'm... can I say... I'm an idiot. Just complete idiot. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna take some damage from Mr. Fantastic, but this is proof of, like, as you can see, look at all those debuffs. Like, Mr. Fantastic is also just an amazing option for this path. I prefer Mortal Abomination just because his debuffs are a lot easier to get and they're almost guaranteed as well. Almost guaranteed. You have to go through that special 2, but after that special 2, you'll have a debuff every couple seconds as long as you're standing close to the defender, which is why I like using him so much for power suppression. Because after you hit that special 2, as long as you can keep up the aura, I don't remember the exact name. It was the aura. Toxic aura? Oh, toxic aura. You know, you're fine, you're chilling. But also, Doom is also really good for this Mysterio because you can apply the armor break and shut down Mysterio's, you know, helmet. But you can also just bring poison immune. That's just a better option. But, you know what, it's okay because most of my poison immunes are dead. Actually, all of them are dead. And I should be keeping Mysterio at about, you know, around 2 bars of power because I'd rather have the power drain on me than have to wait him out, especially if you're using like a non-science champion because you don't have the Enervate on him. And if he throws that special 1, you don't want to be hitting him because he will regen that power and regen that health you do to him and then deal that much damage to you. The special 2, all it does is just a power drain and it makes him, like, you know, invisible, so you can't really technically hit him unless you have a miss counter, which is fine because who cares as long as you throw that special 2, right? And that's the first time Bubble Shield hits me. Oh yeah, that's right, Bubble Shield's a no. Like, I don't know, I always forget about Bubble Shield because it really doesn't matter. Also, this is proof of, like, why you don't really want the special 1 to trigger. I got lucky, you know, the power gain wasn't fully active at this point, but now it is, right? And sure, if he's not close to 1 bar power already, like he was before, it's fine, because that power gain's only going to give him like half a bar. But if he's already getting close, you know, to 2 bars of power, it's bad, because he can just keep, you know, cycling that power, and he will eventually get up to a special 3 if you play it, like, really poorly, and it just gets annoying and kind of stressful. As you can see, like, he's already gaining power above his special 2. And if you don't have a power control or, you know, an Enervate on him, he will get that special 3 really quickly, which is kind of annoying. So I just personally always go for special 2s against Mysterio. Plus, it's also free willpower, because that power drain's a free non-damaging debuff. So whatever. This Mangog though, honestly, he used to be so scary to me. Like, Mangog used to be like the thing that, like, ended my career almost more than Mephisto did, like, when he first came out, because I just had no idea how to fight him. Like, all that, like, the rage and the unstoppables, yeah, he's simple now that I understand him. But before I was like, oh, how the heck does he get all those hatreds and how do those all work? Because I was hitting like full 5-hit combos, not realizing, fully what I was doing. Just because I'm like, I don't read. I've got the reading capabilities of of a kindergartner when it comes to this game. I know how interactions work just because I've had to experience them rather than because I've read them. When I need to read, I will. In terms of like, when it comes to like picking a new path or, running into things. But even then, I'll do like the bare minimum. I'll just skim over it. And if I like see something that might work, I'm just going to go with it rather than looking for like the absolute best option. Because the absolute best option for some of these paths that I've been taking, I haven't even brought them in. Like I have them sometimes, I just don't bring them. Like that, whatchamacallit, that Bloody Mess path. I'm just gonna keep going back to Bloody Mess. Bloody Mess was awful. Holy crap. But everything went bad in that one. But like Bloody Mess, I could have just used like, I have another Nick. Could have just used him. Or even beyond that, like I have so many more bleed champions than I brought. I only really brought Nick in, which kind of screwed me over, not even gonna lie. And then even against that Black Panther, like I just didn't play that right because I didn't, or just refused to read the notes to understand how he worked. So I kept getting screwed over. But it's okay, because this Mangog, like it's like once you understand his fight, like you just gotta watch out for that 10 hatred. You know he goes unstoppable, and just keep an eye out for that. His special one's gonna give him, I believe it's 2 hatred every time he throws it, but it's fine because it's, you have the power sinks on him and it'll slowly chip away his health. Like when you're fighting with Mr. Fantastic on these like against stuff like this, the fights are slow, but they're controlled. Like he's taking 10,000 damage every time he throws that special one, which isn't a lot. It's only like half a combo, but it's still an extra little bonus. Plus all these little specials give me enervades, which means I can hit him, make sure he doesn't throw a special 2, because the special 2 is like, it's not terribly bad or anything. It's bad when he gets close to 10 hatred because that thing goes unblockable. It's just annoying because it's like he's like barfing up a storm at you. I don't know, bro. It's okay though, because he just watched it. He's gonna get his 10 hatred. He's gonna pop that, after he pops that thing again. But it's gonna go away. Say bye bye to that unstoppable. I don't know why it goes away. Normally it stays around for the entire duration of it. Maybe there's something I'm doing within here that's like reducing his stuff, but I look at that, he gets a special 2 because I don't have an enter on. How fun and quirky and good, but you'll see. Like he just barfs on you, bro. As long as it's not unblockable, you can. That's fine. I'm sure there's a way to dodge it. Again, like there probably is. I just never bothered to learn because I don't fight Mangog terribly often. But when I do, like I tend to bring Mr. Fantastic in or Human Torch because Human Torch. Oh jeez, that really hurt. Human Torch by nature does 3-hit combos. It's like that's like as optimal for the maximum amount of Nova Flames. And so those 3-hit combos make sure that you don't have to worry about the hatreds coming out, which is always nice. Always very nice to have. So yeah, I don't know, just fantastic for, because like I think Thing also would activate protection, so he'd actually be pretty good. Not gonna lie. He's dead. It doesn't matter. We're going against Null. God, Null is still in that phase where it's like he's still new enough where I don't really know how to fight him yet. Because, people have just started getting him more like frequently. And I've been fighting more Nulls in War. Because there's been like more alliances that have him as a defender. And I tend to bring like, Archangel or whatever when I go into War. So I normally use Archangel to just shut down his abilities. Especially that stupid Living Abyss that turns into your reverse controls, which always screws me over every single time. I don't even know why. It's like without fail, I'll get screwed over by it. But as you can see here, I'm just trying to keep him around a special 2 because I'd rather fight his special 2 than a special 1. Because the special 1, if it even hits you or touches you at all in any capacity like that, you gain Living Abyss and then the encroaching corruption, and then that just reverses your controls. And I don't know, bro. It's not like terribly difficult to deal with. It's just annoying. Because he also goes unblockable and unstoppable while you're like the first few seconds that you're in that encroaching corruption state, which is it's just so annoying when it comes to like interrupting combos and stuff, which is I guess the point of why he's so like tough to beat. But it's just I hate dealing with it just so much, so much. But I don't know, just beyond that, just watching out for that encroaching corruption and, not letting him throw so many special ones. This is why you bring a science champion and keep him alive long enough so you can use power suppression on him and keep him enervated. Little tip for that. But I'm an idiot, didn't want to use Mr. Fantastic because I knew I'd probably die with him, not even gonna lie. And so Noel's just chaining special ones on me, and I'm continuously getting reverse controlled. But such is life. He's gonna die anyway, it doesn't really matter, because Doom is just so tanky that I can tank all those special ones, as long as I'm taking him to the block and not to the face. Because to the face, I'd probably have been dead by then. I know I took at least 1 or 2 to the face because of Bubble Shield, which, oh my god, Null on Bubble Shield just fucking sucks. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna swap out Vulture here, though, because, why not? It's for the best, honestly. I don't really need the power stings any longer because I'm just gonna be fighting War Machine all over again, and it's so not that big of a deal in terms of needing them, and I'd rather have a champion that I can actually use to fight War Machine in case things go bad, because my one true counter to War Machine, Immortal Abomination, is dead because I did not have any foresight and decided to use Immortal Abomination to take out that Morningstar first instead of using him last as my last resort. Because he was definitely not the best option for her. I just wanted to use him, and it did screw me over. In this end game, I do recommend keeping at least one champion that can inflict a lot of debuffs on themselves, so that you don't get murdered by War Machine's reflect damage. Because even just heavying him 6 times or 3 times for 6 hits, I'm already down to 84%. War Machine does not hit me 1 time. That's all reflect damage. It's bad, bro. Either you do that or you just have to beta special ones so you can get those suppressions on you. But even then, it's just annoying. But yeah, this entire fight is just bait suppressions if you don't already have debuffs on yourself, and then you get to hit them and reflect damage if you have superiority, which I don't really have. Do I have it? Oh, I think I do. Yeah, I do. I have superiority. I think it's just villains that have it. I could be wrong. I don't really remember. It also doesn't really matter because superiority is just bonus damage, and it's cool, you kill them faster, but the outcome would be the same whether or not you have superiority. You just gotta worry about their reflect damage, right? So War Machine's not a terribly hard defender to fight anyway, and those suppressions, if you have willpower on, they'll give you health back, so it's whatever. You're gonna most likely regen most of the damage you take from the special ones blocking them, as long as you don't push them to special 2, which is it's not terribly hard to dodge. It's one of those creeping hitboxes, which is why I personally don't like to dodge them. I'd rather just tank his special ones, get those suppressions on me so I can actually fight the War Machine. Which is what I'm doing here. It's the whole strat I've cooked up, and it's why he's one of the easier bosses in this in this quest. Because while She-Hulk takes intercepts and Black Panther takes, well, I guess he also technically takes intercepts because you can't parry him, and oh my god, it took a heavy. I'm an idiot. But anyway, because you can't parry him while he has an armor up, and he gets a lot of armor ups that way. But you also want that true sense so it doesn't auto block you, so it's really just but Panther's just an Angela fight or a Doom fight, really and truly, and then She-Hulk is whoever you want to use as long as you know how to intercept, and then War Machine is just, it's easier if you have a champion that can inflict debuffs on themselves, but really and truly all you need to do is just push them to special 1 and then have them keep chaining them on you, because that's how you get your I don't know, safety net, I should say. Because that's how you ensure that his reverberation doesn't affect you. Because the more debuffs you have on yourself, the better it's going to be. Yeah, it's nice to have superiority. So yeah, it does seem to just be villains that has it. And that's why I'm taking so much big chunks of damage against him. Which is nice. It's certainly nice. And you'll see what happens. Yeah, look at that. No debuffs on myself. I just die. It's depressing. It really is. To know that I was that close to killing him. And then I go in with a really low health Mr. Fantastic, thinking, oh yeah, I can take off 6% before I die. Definitely, totally, really and truly, I'm so good and powerful at this game. 1 hit. That's all it takes. This is why you don't go for the heavies or the heavy hitting attacks until you're actually ready for it. But look at that, 1 revive. That's whatever. Revive the actual counter for this fight. in Immortal Abomination, because he starts with 3 debuffs on himself, so you'll actually, you know, start reflecting a lot of damage really quickly, and you only take about 14 or 30, so it's whatever. Yeah, he just kind of dies, whatever, and that's the path.